y'all. It's only been a month, for God's sakes. It's only, okay, 4 weeks. Welcome back. I am back. I took the only break. We'll talk about it. Had to happen, but I'm so fucking excited to be here. I am on full force. Not really on fire, because when I hear on fire, I think of gonorrhea. But no, so my spirit's on fire, not my pussy. Yay! But I'm happy to be here. Welcome, y'all, to our newest episode of Getting to the Pussy. Summer is here. Oh shit, it's here. Are we ready for it? Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Do you like it? Do you like it like this? I'll tell you this. Body-wise, no. Spirit-wise, abso-fucking-lutely. I mean, I was trying to talk to y'all. Remember we were talking in April. We're like, okay, let's get summer ready. And we were going to do the best we can. But yeah, shit happens. Well, I gained 80 pounds like March, April, lost 11 of that after going out of town. We'll figure our lives out. I'm not ending it, but I can say, I look good this summer. I look good this summer. I look about the same how I looked last summer, but I look good this summer. I was supposed to be like in the Charlie world of things. I thought that I was, I thought I was going to be finished, y'all. Like most of us, right? I thought I was going to be finished. I thought I was going to lose these little measly 40-something pounds and call it a goddamn day, until I realized I gained 18 pounds. And I was like, oh shit, now I have to lose 60 pounds. But yeah, I thought, hey, I was going to knock this out, and I was ready to. But life happens. Things happen. And I can say through it all, you don't fucking quit. Some people ask me, Charlie, did you stop? Hell no, I didn't stop. I just didn't post. Like, I still worked out. I'm still on my Chigan ways. For those, my Chigan ways is my vegan ways. Yes, I'm still rocking out vegan, but of course, I picked that one day to act the hell up. I went out of town to a couple of places. I totally got chiggy with it. Where Chigan is, you're a vegan, but you cheat every now and then. So y'all have like your butter, you know, your cookies, different things like that. So when I went out of town, I didn't give a damn, but I still stayed in it. I just did me, but I was still aware, like, yeah, have a good time. But bitch, you didn't work this hard to gain all that weight back. Oh my God, speaking of gaining weight back. So when I went home, this is the first year of my grandma's passing anniversary. So I went home to be with family, and my family was kind of kind to me this time. Like when they saw me, they were like, oh, you still look good. You know, and my mom, she says, okay, are you okay, Charlie? And I was like, wow, she didn't call me fat. She didn't say I gained weight. She wanted to know if I was okay. And I told her, I said, Mom, I'm kind of going the fuck through it, but I'm figuring it out. And she was like, she says, you still look good. You look great in that dress, but stop eating effectively today. Damn it, Mom, we were so close on being like healthy and just supportive with your daughter. Shit happens. I love my mom though. Shout out to my mommy. I'm praying to God she just doesn't listen to this podcast. But shout out to her. She said it in the best way of love, which was hilarious. Speaking of mom and awkward conversations. So of course, you know, my podcast is Getting to the Pussy. And she knows it's like Getting to the Pussy. We talk about pussy, whatever. So my mom and I, we have never. Okay, and of course, these are my rants before, like, I talk about my real topic, which we're going to talk about. But, but it's fine going on some rants. Really quickly, when I was in Miami, my mom, okay, we're in the car, and my mom knows I'm a woman who, like, moves her own beat, but I don't think she knows how bold I am. So my mom, we were in a conversation. One of her friends got married, you know, different things. And my mom, you know, she's in the church and whatnot. So my mom was kind of judging her friend. She was like, can you believe, like, she's still in the church and she got married and she likes when guys do that nasty stuff to her. And so I paused and I was like, Mom, what do you mean by nasty stuff? Mind you, the rules of sexual engagement for my mom is 1, only whores and people who cheat, they go to motels. 2, never put your mouth on a man's part where he pees. No lie. And 3, don't drink beer. It makes your pee stink, and ladies don't drink beer. These are like sexual health tips of my mom. So when my mom says, oh, she lets people do that nasty stuff to her. Ooh. You mean? My mom's like, you know, Charlie. And I'm like, no, what do you mean? And my mom is like, I wonder, is that why your father left me? And then she looks down. Well, she looks down at her. She's like, you know, when they want to go down, and she points down. I threw up my Pepsi in her car. I couldn't breathe. I was like, oh shit, my mom. And I was like, Mom, if you only knew your daughter makes the worst choices when a man gets on their fucking knees in front of her. She's like, sure, have pussy. It's like, Mom, if you only knew the only man that I will probably, well, anybody that I'll probably get married to, they gotta be good at eating pussy. Like, it's a prerequisite. I kind of like that before kissing. Oh, it's true. But yeah. So I realized my mom, we don't have that in common. She thinks it's the grossest thing. And she's also even saying that's probably why my father left. No, my father didn't leave you because you don't like men to go down. My father left because he was just adulterous dog. Shit happens. But it was great having that weird bonding moment with my mom and knowing that we are truly opposites in almost everything. But also when I was in Miami, okay, have y'all saw Top Gun yet? Okay, no, I have not seen it. Well, I have not seen the new Top Gun. I'm gonna see it. I am what people who knows this, I am a true fan of fucking Tom Cruise. I am. Like, some people say that Tom Cruise is extra and he does the most. I'm like, yes. Someone needs to do the most because I feel like he goes to his full potential and he rocks the fuck out. I love it when he was on Oprah's couch, jumping over Katie Holmes on that sofa. Like, yeah, I love her. I love when he's just overexcited. I truly feel that he is one of our last Hollywood stars out here. And I totally have a crush on him. I don't care. That nose. Speaking of eating pussy. All right. Anyways, but I treated myself, it was myself and my auntie, I treated myself to watch the first Top Gun. If you have never seen Top Gun, don't even worry about seeing part 2, see part 1 or see part 1 again. It was hot. It was so exciting. My highlight of it all, I'm sorry, well, okay, I have 2 highlights. One, of course, was the volleyball scene where they're all like shirtless and sweaty. It's so fucking 80s. I love it. No hair on the chest, just like sweat and men playing volleyball and being all cunty about it. It was really hot. But another part of Top Gun that I love, and this was important for me because in the past 2 months, guys, nothing has been turning me on. My clit has been so cold. Like, I don't want to fuck anyone. Or I don't know. I'm just not in the mood. I'm just like, I'm not stimulated. And it was really bothering me until I was at my auntie's house, strangest place, right, in Florida. And we put on Top Gun. And there was like a sex scene with Tom Cruise and another, his co-star. And it turned me the fuck on. I forgot in the 80s, people still use real tongue. So I saw like Tom Cruise like stick his tongue out and like make all these movements with his co-star. And I was into it and I got turned on. I crossed my legs. And my aunt looked at me and I was like, oh shit. This is happening. So thank you, Tom Cruise. And whoever the director was, 33 years ago. Jesus, was it 33 years ago? Child, don't say my age. But anyway, 33 years ago, whenever that movie came out, I just saw it recently and I got turned on. Thank you for that. Because I honestly was like, I was getting ready to start taking those weird mood pills or maca. Somebody told me maca root just makes you horny, but it also makes you gain weight. I don't know. I was getting ready to do something. But no, I just had to see Top Gun. Thank you, Tom Cruise. My clit jumps again. But besides that, the real conversation that we're going to go into is really, really important. And the topic, well, really the title of our episode today is called Thrive Mode, y'all. To thrive when surviving is exhausting. To be in survival mode all the time is fucking tiring. And when I'm done, you guys are going to be, all of us, we're going to be able to relate to each other and hopefully we make more thrive choices. This episode is about making thrive choices. What is it like to be in thrive mode? What does it feel like? How the hell do you do it? So before we go there, let's talk about how I got there. I ran into a wonderful conversation with this woman, this businesswoman. She was the only woman who says, Charlie, are you in love yet? I was like, no, not yet. When you fall in love, because it's totally going to happen. She says, when you get married, I think that you should really look into getting a prenup. I'm like, this, mind you, I don't know her. I'm like, prenup? She says, yeah. She says, all women were capable of making at least over $2 million. I have a feeling you're capable of making over $12 million. So I think that if you fall in love, regardless if he has more money than you or not, you need a prenup. I was like, thank you, miss, I will. And then she also wanted to talk to me about, we were having lunch with another young lady. And this woman, she was so happy to get this job that she applied for. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to get this job because, my mortgage is so expensive. So this is going to cover, some of my mortgage. And this is going to happen because, I was so broke here and my other job I hated. So I was just so desperate to get this and I got it." And so when the young woman walked off, the older woman, she spoke to me and she was like, Charlie, I would really love for us as women, for us to have more Thrive stories. She said, I wanted to congratulate her on her new job, different things like that. But when she says that she got the job because she needed more money to pay her mortgage, and she got the job because she was desperate for this, I realized that I can't congratulate her on a survival choice. I want to congratulate her on a Thrive choice. Y'all, once again, I spit out my water. The fuck, right? I never thought of it like that. A Thrive choice? What's the difference between a Thrive choice and a survival choice? A survival choice is doing something when you have to do it because you have no other choice. You have to. A Thrive is an option. So I had to apply this to my own life to see where I was making those choices and where I am. So let's talk about, what does thriving look like and what does surviving look like? So let's break this down to work. I don't know. We know that eventually soon I will be able to tell stories for the rest of my life and just talk and narrate and get people excited about things. Until then, every now and then I have to follow the rules of others. It pisses me the fuck off sometimes. But it is what it is. We like our lifestyles. We love this. So yeah, until you're living the dream, you will be in someone else's dream. And I always say, if I'm in someone else's dream, let me be the greatest supporter. Let me be the greatest whatever I need to be for that person, but let me not the fuck get taken advantage of. And I feel that sometimes, when we work for different people's dreams, it happens, right? Where we are not being fully seen at our full capacity. We're not being utilized at our full capacity. We're not being praised or compensated for our capacity. This situation specifically was speaking to me where I was not being seen for my full capacity of what the fuck I do. It reminded me of when I was a little girl. I was about 12 years old, never forget. I was in the church, and there was a youth pastor who decided, even though he was totally like having an affair with someone, whatever, but he decided that he wanted to go on break. And there was a summer show that usually happens. Well, a summer church get together that happens with different churches to come and they see the show over the summer. So usually this guy was over it. This year, he checked out, he made some type of excuses, and they were going to cancel it. So me, Charlie, at 12 years old, I'm like, you can't cancel it. This is the important time of the year. So I said at 12 years old, and with my mom's help, like, I'm going to produce this show. I'll direct it. I'll put it together. At that time, the Broadway show Serafina came out. And I was so obsessed with what it looked and the way it looked like. I was willing. I remember begging my mom if we can go to Woolworth so I can buy white dress shirts and black shorts because we have to pull off this production. And one thing about my mom has weird shit going on sometimes. But when it comes down to performing and the show must go on, bitch is about that life. So I remember recruiting people 10 years old. I was directing people in their 20s. I was 12 now, directing people at 22. I was holding these small auditions, and I worked a 12-year-old. I remember working about 10 hours a day. Sounds familiar now. But I was literally going to school, working on this play, gathering up, doing the music, doing the production, directing, going to different karaoke places to find instrumentals because I couldn't afford a pianist at the time. So did all this stuff. We end up doing the church production. Usually there's 50 people who attended. I had over 200 people attend because I did my own recruiting. I did everything. So you have over 200 people come. I have people performing and singing and having the best things, the best performances of their life, all within 3 weeks later to go to my church awards show and for them to give the guy who was missing weeks on end, their equivalent of an MVP award, like most valuable person. And they gave him that award. And I remember sitting there like, almost in tears, not really saying anything. And my mom, she saw my face. And then she said, Charlie, what did you do all this work for? You had a great production. You had over 200 people, a wonderful show. Did you do it because you wanted to put on a show for the community and something good? Or did you do all that work just to get this award? My tears dried up so goddamn fast because I realized my choice was because I wanted to put on a production. I didn't want it to stop. It meant everything to me, and I knew it meant a lot to people. I didn't give a fuck about the award. But what made the award hurt was not to be seen or considered for the work I did. Y'all get it? Fuck the plastic. See me. So I felt like now in my adult years, the same shit weirdly happened in that. It's like kudos to everybody. You don't want to stop people from blessings, but damn, you didn't see it. And then I had to ask myself, Charlie, what did you do it for? Why in the world did you work for these past 2 years, 10 to 12 hours, sometimes 14? Why? Then what was it? Was it for an accolade or was it before? And then I thought to myself, I need it because I need it to be done. Now, if I was to ask myself, was this a thrive choice or was it a survival choice? And I realized with me working all those hours and different things, it was a survival choice. The time in New York City a couple of years ago, there were layoffs. They were laying everybody off. Things were canceling, shutting down. I was scared. And I'm the kind of person is when I'm scared, I work harder. I push. I do everything I need to do just to make sure everything is okay. I realized that I was working at that level in fear. I was getting the job done, doing a lot of it, but I wasn't necessarily... No, I'm lying. I was fucking enjoying myself. I totally was enjoying because I do like when I work, I do like it. But it was just this thing of, I realized like all this shit I did, it was more of survival. It was more to prove to others, oh, look, I'm still needed. I'm still needed. I'm still needed. And as women, people of color, why the fuck do we have to put ourselves on this thing? Like, you need me, I'm worthy, I'm valuable. Can we just be? Like, can we make choices in our work life, in our love lives? And it's considered a thrive choice, not a survive choice. I was feeling like a little bit crazy, a little bit lost, and they have this thing of like when it rains, it fucking pours and it just keeps on going down. So I felt like I kept on having, I don't want to say the shittiest of luck because I don't believe in bad luck, but I believe things happen to redirect you and to get you understanding. So I felt like I had a whole bunch of redirection fucking arrows. It was a lot. So I had another issue where I was like, is this a survival choice or is this a thrive choice? Men, right? Well, it could be men, women, it could be everybody. But men, so... as you guys know, I was trying my best to date. Y'all, I was trying. I'm still figuring it out. I gave myself a good 2 or 3 months of dating. I ended up selecting about 4 different men to figure out if I liked them or not. No one made it. Maybe 2. Like there was like one that's like still holding on. And there was another one. And I'll tell you about him. So he was very interesting. And I was trying to figure out, was he a thrive choice or survive choice? Because we also do this for relationships, y'all. Don't get it twisted. And for me I was like, okay, it's summer coming up. I'm single. I should get with somebody, right? So I can travel, do different things with. And this is where you fuck up when you start saying you need to. I must. Because when things start to look desperate, they get desperate. So I hooked up with this guy who was there. I think I told you about him, the detective, like the one who like ate my ass, and I like cut him off, and then I weirdly started talking back to him again because he told me he had changed behavior and he was going to be more attentive. So I gave him another shot, and there was this thing where, and I had to talk to friends about it. I was like, is this just me or am I right? So this guy would send me a text like, hey, how are you? And I would respond back. Then he would respond to me like an hour later, 2 hours later with one word, I swear to you. And I thought to myself, I'm like, okay, I'm a little bit too old to be going through this shit. Like, who sends one word out? And also, when I went out with this guy, he was very, I realized touching is not my love language. Gag. So I would assume it's him. It's his love language, but he was very touchy feely. And like, I realized I don't like that. Like, touch me when you deserve that shit. Don't touch me because you feel like it. Fuck you. You didn't earn it. So I felt like he would like touch me on my ass and like it was just, I don't know, I felt dirty. And for me, I'm like, you're doing all of this stuff, but you don't deserve this. Ew. And it wasn't like just a touch on the ass, a touch with it. I just felt dirty, but I felt like he didn't work hard enough for it. And it's okay to feel that way, y'all, because it's my fucking body, right? Let's tell that to our fucking government. Jesus. Off my uterus. Anyways, but it's my body. So if I want to be touched, I want to be touched. If I don't fucking touch me. And if you are touching me, at least you can pay my fucking rent, right? So so I wasn't getting any of that done, but he would touch me on my ass when we would go out, weirdly grind up on me when we went out to dinner. But I'm sending you a text, you're sending me a text, you can't even text me back within an hour. I just got annoyed with it. So we went out, he tried to like corner me, to like hug me and touch me. I was like, off, like chill out. No, thank you. Don't touch me. Then I thought about this. I was like, Charlie, why is this guy still around? Why are you keeping him around? It was a survival choice. It was a survival decision because I had nobody else around. That can get scary. It's the summer. I need a summer. Here we go. I need a summer boo. So I'm going to have somebody around. The minute I had this conversation between what is thrive and what is surviving looks like, I cut him off. I said, it's great meeting you. It's whatever, but that's not what I'm looking for. Then I realized I made a thrive choice by me cutting him off. Yes, a thrive choice is sometimes you can make a decision, but you know it's going to be all well. You just feel it. But you're making that decision not because you need it, because you just want it to happen. I think that's what thrive choices are. Thrive choices are like going into our ecstasy, that's something that works for us, that's not going to go against us. It just feels effortlessly. So I felt good that I got out of that weird survival mode. And mind you, when you're in survival mode, you're fucking tired. When I was with the guy, I didn't want to text back. I did not want to meet with him late evening. Sometimes I didn't even want to sit and have conversations with him. I thought he was pretty boring. And I thought he had a weird obsession with guns. But because I'm making survival choices, I'm going to sit my ass down there and be miserable. We can have the same thing about work. How many of us go to a job or we go to places, we're like, we're waiting for the weekend. Now, did you make a thrive choice to be there? Or did you make a survival choice? And I know some of us are like, shut the fuck up, Charlie. Us has no choice. I get it. In my mind, I always tell myself I don't have a choice. But I'm realizing I got more choices. And I want to step into those choices more. Surviving is tiring, y'all. Survival choices are built off of fear. Are built off of you can't do any better. I have seen so many of my girlfriends make survival choices choosing men. They're going back to their first love or choosing exes knowing damn well it's not good for them. But they go back because it's familiar. But how many of us do that because of fear? Because of, okay, what's safe for us? But we're not getting any fucking where with it, y'all. Nowhere. More thrive choices. More thrive choices. And you may say, like, how do I thrive, right? How do we do this, Charlie? I'm figuring this shit out too, honey. But let me tell you, I made a thrive choice. I did. So I was in New York. I want something fun. I just want to jump into something. What is going to fucking scare me but thrill me at the same time that's going to be so good for me? Y'all, I booked as a solo woman, single. I didn't even tell my fucking friends because I didn't want anybody to talk me out of it. I booked a trip to New Orleans. Yes, I know. I booked a trip to New Orleans, y'all, by myself. Ow, you cannot tell me that's some crack diamond energy. It's just a little crackheadish. But I booked by myself as a single woman. I was like, I've never been to New Orleans. I've always wanted to go. I've been waiting for a partner or waiting for that cool friend, someone who's not going to judge the space and just come with me and be. That has not happened yet. So I'm like, fuck it. No, I'm going to make the choice to do this myself. This is a thrive choice. This is something that I am going to enjoy. It's not nothing that I need, but why the fuck not? I exist. And I wanted to put myself in a space of creativity, in a space of freedom. I wanted to put myself in my own little crazy story if I need to. But I wanted to know what it feels like not waiting on anybody. What it feels like to tell me, Charlie, go. Green light. Do it. I didn't lose any special weight for this shit. I didn't. I just left. I packed a bag. I literally booked my ticket in 24 hours. I packed the bag and I left. Got out of New York. And y'all, it was one of the best decisions I've made in a very long time. It let me know I'm capable of traveling by myself. It lets me know that, yeah, I love my own fucking company. I'm a pretty cool fucking girl. It let me know that I can do what the hell I want. And one of the things that I was so inspired by, I was on the plane. And for those who don't, please look this up. Like, look at the documentary. Ladies, men, if you don't identify, my non-binary, all good. But look this shit up. It is called Jackie Collins, Lady Boss. Oh my gosh. It's a documentary based on the life of Jackie Collins. For those who don't know it, she is a world famous novelist, writer. She is the sister of the popular actress Joan Collins. This is a documentary about her life. Jackie Collins, Lady Boss, it's a shit. I was so inspired. I was like, wow, please look it up. Amazing, fucking beautiful. But let me tell you about her story a little bit of why this inspired me to thrive and less surviving. So Jackie Collins was I want to say, almost the less famous sister, right? Where in her head, even though I thought Jackie Collins had a badass body, honey, I thought Jackie Collins was pure sex. But in other people's eyes, Jackie Collins was not as pretty as Joan Collins. Joan Collins had the look, she had the smaller body. Jackie Collins had like boobs, thighs, like, her facial structures weren't as soft as Joan Collins. Jackie was trying to feel her way in the world, Joan got all the love. Jackie kind of stayed out there. So Jackie went into acting, different things that kind of didn't work out too well. But one thing that she was always known for was being with the boys or being with the men. Jackie was fresh, honey. I like fresh girls. So Jackie was, and this is the time of the 50s and the 40s, like she was like making out with men and sleeping with them and talking and going to parties. She didn't know much about theater, honey, but she knew about sex. She knew about frolicking. And also she knew about writing. She would keep this journal and she would write these stories. And she was pretty good at it. But during this time, so she went through 20 or 30 years almost feeling like a failure in a way, because she was under her sister's shadow, where, she was a mom now. She tried to do certain things and it wasn't happening for her, where she was making survival choices. One, to have a family. She thought that's what you do. She got married to her first husband, who was a drug addict who ended up committing suicide. But because he was a provider, this is what you do. She went into, she took different type of jobs or different things because she was in survival mode. So let me tell you when she started to thrive. One thing Jackie Collins, she knew about is, one, parties, Hollywood, and sex. So she finally, after not taking it anymore, she finally decides to leave her first husband, and she takes her kids and she's like, I'm going to figure this life out. She does her thing. She starts writing. She has her second husband who, and this is where one can only hope it happens to them, where you find someone who is supportive. They tell you you can do any fucking thing, and they set the stage for you to do it. So he was like, Jackie, he saw her journal. He says, oh my gosh, you're a great storyteller. Keep on writing. So Jackie, now this is the, school dropout, the actor who wasn't really getting those gigs, who wasn't really the prettiest, not like her sister. But let me tell you, Jackie can tell a story. That was her thrive. She wrote almost every day. So she started to write about what she saw in Hollywood, or she started to write about these heroines. She made all the women in her story. They called her, she calls herself a feminist. I totally understand what the fuck she was saying, by the way. But a lot of the women she made in her stories, they were the main characters, and they were strong, and they said the rules, and they had sex when they wanted to. And if they wanted to pull out a dick and suck it, by all means, they pulled out the dick and suck it. But it was always by their rules, which I love. So she was in thrive mode, and before you know it, she became the most biggest book-selling author. Who would have known? Because she knows about sex and she knows about men. And in her life, she wants to see women win. So she becomes this huge author to the point where her sister is now hating, and her sister calls herself writing a book like years later. And it was this thing where I was so inspired by that. I was like, God damn, Jackie, it felt like nobody wanted you. You know, it felt like no one could see you. And then she had to see herself. And she had to take what others may shame or what others, and she had to take what others may shame you about. And she held that to the front. And she says, this is my thrive. I am going to go full in this. And she ended up creating a multi-million-dollar empire just talking about women who make it and sex. Yes, Jackie. Thrive mode. She was married. So her second husband was really good to her. He ended up dying. Oh my gosh. So she ended up with this third guy and she was over it. And they asked Jackie Collins, they're like, hey, would you ever marry? Would you ever do that again? And she's like, no, I don't want to pick up socks anymore. Like, I'm having way too much of a great time with my life. And I was very grateful for Jackie because where do we fit in? They always say you have to go where love is being served. And I'm always trying to figure out, then where is that love? Do I go to that love or do we go to that love or do we create that love? So it's always here. And if that love is always here, then it's always being served, right? But it's about creating that love, creating that space, creating what you can do instead of going into it. I think when we go into spaces and we're thinking like, you have to do this, you have to do this, that's when we go wrong. When we want the awards, when we want to be seen, and we want the accolades and different things like that. And it goes back to survival mode. You're drowning in an ocean and you want someone to throw you a life jacket so goddamn bad in our work careers. Sometimes it feels like that in our love lives, where we're just like, throw me a life jacket, please. I want to survive, But what does it look like to just jump off the boat and just swim in the ocean knowing you're not going to drown? Y'all, I want more of those experiences. It's about goddamn time. It's about time. I'm over it. Because survival mode is fucking exhausting. Thrive. Here is where we need to stay out of the word survive and survival. Don't you know, if you look up in the dictionary, to survive means to remain alive after the death of someone or something. Once again, to survive is to remain alive after the death of someone or the cessation of something. To stay afterwards. Doesn't that fucking suck? How many of you have dreams? You had a dream to be a singer. Now all of a sudden you're a banker. If you're happy, you're happy. If you're thriving in that, you're thriving in that. But if you're not, ask yourself, okay, if you can't sing no more, can you do something in between, right? But how many of us have showed up to our own personal fucking funerals because we're surviving? And when I mean show up to your own fucking person, when you are saying yes to that person you have no business saying yes to, but you're doing it because you feel like there's no one else. Guess what? Yeah, you just attended your own personal funeral. When you're at your workplace and you're upset over something, or you're upset for being overlooked, or you're not getting paid, and you're fighting, but the next day you're still there. You're attending your own personal funeral. You are. You're surviving now. Fuck that. It's not worth it. It's exhausting. And now if we go into the dictionary of what is to thrive, we'll see to thrive is to prosper, be fortunate, successful. Oh, this one is good. To grow or develop vigorously, to flourish. So when we think of thrive, it's not necessarily just automatically going into it and yay, everything is good. No. To thrive is to step into something where you can grow and you can make it flourish. So, for my women, for my men, for my folks who don't want to say who they are, you don't have to. For my amoebas, who are you in this? Are you going to think of thrive choices, thrive mode more, or is it more survival? How do you want to be? They say, what does thrive mean? To thrive is to grow and develop strongly. Thrive also means fulfilled. So how do you want to go into this life? Remember, when you're making survival choices, that means you have gone to your last resort. Now you're at the funeral for your dying dreams. When you go into thrive choices, there's possibilities. Something can grow from that. Something can flourish. And it's summer. We should be growing shit and flourishing. So I want you to think of that. And I am definitely thinking of that. And every day, even now, I'm going to be done with you guys. I'm going to go ahead and work out, have some coffee, and I'm going to make a fucking thrive choice. Every day I challenge myself when I make a decision, when I do something. And then I say, hey, Charlie, is this a thrive choice? Is this a survive choice? Because I'm going to be so good with thriving. Eventually, I'm going to stop asking that question because I know every move I make will be a thrive. Yes! That's what I want. And I want that for you too. But it sure takes time. And guess what? We'll take time together. So this is a saying that I've learned, and it's a saying that I'm going to tell you. The habits you created to survive will no longer serve you when it's time to thrive. Get out of survival mode. New habits equals a new life. And this quote is from Nelson Mandela. There is no Are y'all ready for this? You like it like this. Are you ready for this? You like it like this. Here we go. There is no passion to be found in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. And that's how you get to your pussy. Yes! All right. More thrive mode choices. Fuck this. Surviving is like tired. It's like skinny jeans. Ew. I love you guys. All is well. I love y'all. Be well.